All right, folks, good morning. Let's get started. So, for today, December the 17th, Tuesday, we have the following economic data. All right, we already had core retail sales month over month that came out softer than expected at 0.2%. However, retail sales month over month came in better than expected at 0.7%. Um, at 9:15 a.m., we'll have capacity utilization rate, which is not a major report. We'll have industrial production month over month, which is also not a major report. At 10 a.m., we'll have business inventories month over month and NAHB housing market index. Neither of those are important reports. So basically, everything that is critically important, we should have already had this morning, and the other reports should have minimal, if no, impact. Having said that, taking a look at the NASDAQ, the QQQ ETF, we have the following information to look at. So yesterday, the market was clearly bullish. It didn't translate very well to individual stocks. We did have stocks that went up, but generally speaking, they would go up for a small distance and then stop moving. So this was more of a broader market rally for individual stocks, but they weren't necessarily moving as much as the index was. Having said that, looks like the NASDAQ will open slightly lower. We can see yesterday's close through a dotted red line, and we're clearly trading lower than that. Looking at yesterday's trading, the stocks that we found, the only stock that we found, and like I said, stocks went up, so don't get me wrong, some of them went up quite a bit, but the only ones that went up in the manner that we needed was Micron, and that was able to reach target number two to the upside of which was 110.97. That was target number two, and topped out at 111.13. All right, as far as the pre-market is concerned, taking a look at which stocks are moving, here's what we have so far. Currently in the pre-market session, we have, one second, let me see if the stock actually qualifies. I'm not sure, this one probably doesn't. Let me just double check. No, it doesn't. We have BMEA. That is currently down 14.7%. 2.4 million shares roughly have traded. It's at least $1 per share. So that meets our four qualifications, including the fact, of course, it's a NASDAQ stock. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list. The symbol again is BMEA. Next up is EVGO, which is presently down 23.44% on 2.3 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add EVGO to the pre-market list. All right, next up is LAES, which is currently up 20%, nearly 26 million shares. It's over $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add LAES to the pre-market watch list. Next up is ONDS. That is presently up 13.2% on about 4.7 million shares, priced at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add ONDS to the pre-market watch list. Next up is OPTX, which is currently up 103% on about 36 million shares, over $1 per share, of course. So we'll add OPTX to the pre-market watch list. Next up is, let's see, that one's not enough. Let me check Palantir. Nope, only down 2.88%, so that's not enough. Next up is PRTG. All right, that's currently up 175%. 14.3 million shares are traded. it's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that, Portage Biotech, to the pre-market watch list, PRTG. All right, next up is, let's see, QUBT, which was up sharply yesterday. Currently up about 31% in the pre-market, 17 plus million shares. It's at least $1 per share, so we'll go ahead and add that, QUBT, to the pre-market watch list as well. All right. And let's see, next up is RVPH, which is currently down 40.43% on 3.8 million shares. And it's at least $1 per share, so we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list as well. The symbol again is, RVPH. Next up is SIDU. That is currently up about 6.7%, 11.8 million shares, at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list. Next up is SMCI. That's only up 1.8%, so it doesn't qualify. SOUN. Nope. Let's see, TNYA. Yeah. Next up is TNYA, which is currently down 24.3%. 4.8 million shares is at least $1 per share, so we'll go ahead and add TNYA to the pre-market radar. And that is it, at least as far as what I found. So if you see any other stocks that meet all 4 of our criteria, other than the ones I mentioned, let me know in the chat. 4 criteria are: must be a NASDAQ listed stock, trading at least $1 per share in the current pre-market session, must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume, and at least a 6% price change, which can be positive or negative. Any other stocks that meet all 4 criteria, let me know in the chat. All right, so let's see, we got some here. First up is TNTX. Or sorry, TNXP, sorry. That's currently up, I had that one. That's currently up 130% plus on 146 million shares, at least $1 per share. So TNXP is at it. NUKK is mentioned. That's up over 100%, 13.6 million shares, at least $1 per share. So NUKK, oops, sorry, I meant to type that. That's now added to our watch list, NUKK. Next up is KWE, currently up 69% roughly, 36.4 million shares, at least $1 per share. So KWE is now added to our list. Next up is MSS. That is currently up 25.5%, sliding from its highs. About 8 million shares, at least $1 per share. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add MSS to our radar. Next up is PLRZ. That is currently up 19% on 3.1 million shares, at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add PLRZ to the pre-market watch list. Next up is, we already have LAES. Next up is QSI. Did I spell that right? Yeah, that one's not showing up. Let me see if that's okay, that's an NY. No, it's a NASDAQ stock. Let me try it again. Oh, because I put the dollar sign, sorry. QSI. That's currently up 10% on 2.2 million shares, at least $1 per share. So we'll add QSI to our pre-market list. Next up is RCAT. That is currently down 13.4% on 1.3 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share, so that qualifies as well. So we'll go ahead and add that. And finally, we have EVGO, which is already added to our list. So we're good to go there. All right. So we'll go ahead and wrap up for today's pre-market pulse, folks. Please be sure to like the video. See, we have 7 likes, but more than 7 people watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. It greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm, and also subscribe to the channel so you get notifications. If anyone's watching this video on a replay and you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for those of you who are part of the coaching program, I'll see you there in 21 minutes, and we'll pick up for today's session. All right, have a great trading day, folks, and I will see you for tomorrow's pre-market pulse. Take care.